Hi, DSST talent team. My name is Kathleen Campbell. Thanks for taking the time to check out this presentation I made about the most significant work challenge I have encountered, the vision that I used to approach it, the action that I took, and the outcomes. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, the overview of my work challenge. I was a founding teacher for the past 4 years at Strive Prep Kepner in Southwest Denver. In Southwest Denver, the demographics have been changing pretty rapidly due to gentrification. There's more seats than students, and we had to move from a 360 enrollment to a 270 student enrollment. And our school was also the Tenley school for our neighborhood, which meant that we provided dual language instruction in science and social studies class. It also meant that our Tenley students were tracked, so they all stayed together and they all needed to be in the same classroom. This meant that I had 40 students in periods 5 and 6. We know as educators that this number, just generally in terms of teacher to student ratio, is not ideal for learning. This was after lunch as well, which meant that 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds came into the classroom with a lot of energy. Beautiful energy, that is, but a lot of energy. These students, for example, there were 4 IEPs, 39 English language learners. Of those 39, 22 were newcomers. They had arrived in the United States within the past year. There weren't enough chairs, desks, obviously not enough physical space. I did give a few snapshots of students and their background on this slide as well. So you can see a little bit of like the flavor of how just like the wide range of students that were and their needs and like kind of what I was tasked with as a teacher. My strengths, I realized that very quickly that this was something that I had to do and I had to step up to do right by students. So I immediately looked to see, okay, what's working for us. I had a resident teacher, Mr. Campley, in the bottom left. He was super strong right away, so I was able to coach him up pretty quickly to co-teach with me. I had a sped teacher that pushed in for the last 30 minutes, which was very helpful. Positive number 2, I was the team leader and I was the most senior teacher at our school. And so I held myself accountable to be the face for we can do this. If I couldn't do it, then the 22-year-old 6th grade math teacher who had this cohort of 40 students after me during the last 2 periods of the day wasn't going to be able to do it. And so it felt like up to me being a little bit in the admin pool and a little bit in like the teacher pool to say like, we got this and we have to do this for our kiddos. My vision to address the challenge. I had to match their energy. So when I welcomed them into the classroom, the way that we got started is I said, we are, and they said, readers and writers. And I said, ready to change the world. When I say ye, you say ha, ye. And they said ha, ye, ha, ye, ha. And then at the end of that, we practiced 0. We did this for 2 weeks. We were able to hold to it for the rest of the year. And it was so much fun and like a really good way to start strong. I also am a strong believer in leading with love and restorative practices, evident in this video that I created for my Teacher of the Year application in 2018.
I believe a critical national issue in education today is closing the achievement gap. And I think a lot of the students who are our low performers who need to make 5, 6 years of growth are students that have behaviors that oftentimes cause us to send them out of class. What I've experienced this year and what I know works is using restorative justice practice. So at my school, we are not allowed as teachers to send students out of the classroom, but keeping them in the room to engage back into the lesson, to coach them back into the lesson, to essentially do what we do in real life, which is confront conflict and talk about it. So not having the ability to send my students out of the classroom has left me in a place that has strengthened my relationship with my students in a way that I've never had before. And B, has allowed me to actually close the achievement gap more than I would have been able to, because those students that are being sent out are the ones that need to be in class.
Okay, so finally, I needed to name this for kids. Again, be honest, they're humans too. This system isn't setting all of us up for success, but it's okay. I'm still gonna hold this bar as high as I would in any other situation for you because that's what you deserve. And number 4, I'm never going to give up. If Tuesday was hard, it doesn't mean that I can't show up at Wednesday to work harder and make it better. In August 2019, I found out that there were 40 Tinley students enrolled. I accepted the challenge. I established my mindset. This was the moment in which I used data to really set the tone for how I was going to really diversify my instruction and meet everyone where they were. I advocated for a Spanish DRA. I screened every kiddo numerous different times, English, Spanish, really tried to encourage the rest of my teacher team to do the same. In September, I set up bi-weekly meetings with the newcomer specialist. In October, we began parallel teaching. I got Learning Ally access for all of my kiddos advocating at the central office. I got a grant for Spanish books to add to the library. In October 2019, I really took on more of that Dean of Teachers role again, that goes with that Dean of Students role in terms of just really facilitating pedagogical practices that are along the lines of those restorative justice ideas that I mentioned in the past slide. November 2019, I evaluated the academic data, and then December 2019, we continued to obviously evolve our practice to meet kids where they needed to be. We had newcomer English lessons happening in the parallel teaching that was side by side with the Common Core lesson that was happening in English, and then we would flip. So we had all sorts of different things that were evolving and changing based on the data that we were using for our kiddos. The ultimate outcome, our newcomers felt a sense of home and love. We met the district requirements, and parents and students' voices were heard, which means that, and their needs were met. Numerous times in conferences, I heard parents say, I value my culture and I value the Spanish language, and I do not want my kid to lose that. And in holding to that at our school and providing Tinley instruction, we met the needs of our community, which is what truly is one of the more important things. I learned that in a vocation such as schooling, we have to show up every day. It doesn't matter the circumstances. Number 2, never lower the bar. And number 3, we are all humans, and sometimes students, teachers, and admin end up in these silos. And as the year goes on, I've noticed that sometimes these silos can start working against one another. And we need to know and remember explicitly that we are an ecosystem working together towards the same goal, and that we share so much more similarities than we do differences. And so keeping that in the forefront and being able to smile and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to talking with you further as this process continues. Have a great day.